Hey, Belogan here. In this video, we're going to talk about what to do now that you have gotten started, gotten to level 10, and have kind of gone through some of the initial starting weapons and gear and where do I go from here? So this picks up from the hero that I used in my initial getting started on how to play, and about the only thing we have really done was to come in and buy all of your initial weapons and armor in your starting shop. And we also bought a few items out of the weapon shop. And so if you look at my gear, I've got all white gear, pretty basic equipment, and not a whole lot of resources to start with because this is a fresh account. There's a couple things that we want to shoot towards now to get better gear. So most of our weapons are going to be coming from stories or from some of the other shops. So specifically, I think in the weapon shop, I'm probably already about the best primary I can get. You'll notice these red numbers here indicate how much better or worse it is than your current piece of gear. I could buy these to boost my level a little bit. I'm not gonna worry about that right now. So here's a special weapon with more attack than I have and some defense perk, for example. Here's one with even more. Some heavy weapons, but then I kind of get out of the price range of what I can reasonably get. Later on, level 50, this Thorn Tesla is pretty good, or the Super Thorn, level 50 I think is even better. So those are good ones to shoot for at level 50. But another place that we can get gear is from missions and stories. So when we first start at the Acropolis, if I scroll down, I've got this option to explore this area. And there are stories I can do in here to pick up pieces of gear. So you got the Hero Training 1 and Hero Training 2 that initially give you some goodies. Hero Training 3 we can do. And this will give you some drachma and some XP. So they're worthwhile doing all of these initial stories. Now some of these stories later on get to be a little bit more complex. So you've got the abandoned satellite station. This one I can't do until level 40, for example. But you'll notice it's got a bunch of red memories. It's going to give you some cores, a fair amount of drachma. So at level 40, this is a good one to do. We've got a stranger here. This is going to give a little bit of things. Let's see. He says, when you have me, you want to share me. When you share me, you've lost me. That's a secret. You can put that in. You get some memories and things. Apparently there's two good endings there. They've got this one, 2378, written by Blurt. I haven't gone through all of these stories. Yeah, we're just gonna randomly click some of these answers. You may want to actually read through these at some point, and there's some fun lore written in a lot of the stories. But there's a couple specific ones that have really good gear when you get to higher levels. So if I come over to the wiki and I look at the list of stories, and pull these out. So Abandoned Satellite at 40, we talked about that one. Poseidon's Mark at level 50 gives a really, really good special weapon that you'll use pretty much to the end of your level 99 run. Under Zeus's Throne at level 60, that actually gives you a yellow memory long before you can get it. Shipwrecked is a level 30 story that gives a pretty powerful weapon called the Worm Slayer. It's a heavy, it's white. It won't help your power, but it has, because it doesn't give any additional attack or defense percentages. But what it does have is a high attack and crit, and so it's really good for attacking Titans. And so I like to use that on a lot of my run-throughs as well. So that covers your special and your heavy weapon. You can use all the way to 99, or you can replace them if you like. Then in the Vanguard Quartermaster, if you are doing missions to farm VM, I have a separate video on that. There's some pretty good weapons in here as well. And specifically the Payback DHYB, you need to be level 65 for this one, but this weapon can take you all the way to level 99, absolutely no problem. Some of these other ones in between may or may not be worth it depending on how many missions and how many VM that you farmed. But early on, before I can do any of those, I'm only level 10. We just go back to patrolling. I don't have a lot of locations, so these green check marks means I haven't visited the area yet. The number in the parentheses show how many people are currently in that area. But we're just gonna come somewhere, anywhere really, and you just wanna start killing absolutely everything that you run into. So that question comes up a lot of times, is how do I know what to battle? What should I fight? And the answer is kill everything you can. And the reason why is we're more than the experience and the drachma that we're getting, we're looking at these item drops that are coming. Because a lot of these can help you early game advance pretty quickly. You get some notifications there. There's setting options to make those auto disappear, or you can click them. So I'm just going to come in and start killing a bunch of random monsters right now, and that's going to help me. This guy probably should run from. That's going to help me in just a minute here get some better equipment. So I'm mostly hopefully getting some of these memories to show. Now the kind of memories that you get will increase as you go throughout the game. But let's just show, we'll see where we're at and show what we can do here. So inventory, let's go ahead and use all our items to get a little bit of drachma. That 20,000 drachma sphere is really juicy right now. And we've got 29 memories. So let's talk about gear. Up at the top here, I show my percentages for all my perks. So hit point, experience, LP, attack, defense, drachma, my crit rate, and my evade. In the brackets, where I've got a 2 and a 1, that shows how many cores that I've used for that stat. If you don't see this on mobile, if you turn your phone sideways to landscape, you'll see it. And then I have my power. My power is a summation of 2 different things. It is all of my base defense from my 5 pieces of armor multiplied by my defense perk, which is 15% right now, plus the attack value of my primary weapon, which is 89 times my attack percentage perk, which is 1%. So not really high right here, which is your basic gear, and that's okay. When we come to get new gear, well, before I do that, let me just talk about the various tiers. You have white, green, blue, purple, and red. Each of these tiers become available later on in levels. So right now, white through blue is about all I can get around level 50. I think you can start getting reds. Purples will frequently drop from Titans or some better chests. Again, for all this, if you come into the wiki, there is more information on what they can give. So chests, for example, start showing up at level 20, and there are chests that have goodies and items and boosters, some that will have materials for infusing your gear, and some of them will have memories in them themselves. So your chests that get purple start showing up at level 60, chance for reds at 80, and so forth. Also, every time you gain a level from the postmaster, you will get a memory. One way to increase your power, though, when you have some memories, is you come into, let me grab everything out of the postmaster really quick, is you come into the code breaker, and we start decoding these memories one at a time. I'm going to start with the white, and we'll do this gauntlet initially. So I'm going to decode him. There's a bit of a cost, and you'll see it shows my defense from this piece is increasing by 11, and it's got a perk of 4% crit rate. I'm just going to say okay, come back to my gear, and just to show you the power difference, I'm 229 right now. I equipped that, I'm 249. Now I can get rid of this old piece of gear. We're not going to use it anymore. When I decode a piece of gear, there are 2 components that determine how strong it is. One is your current power ranking, and the other is your decode rank. So my decode rank here starts off, I'm at rank 0 right now. This goes up to 99. And then your power is based on what your current power is, and that will eventually be capped at 20k. So once you hit 20k power, it no longer influences your gear, only decode rank. But early on in the game, it's primarily going to be your power that influences it. Now, since I decoded and equipped one piece of gear, that increased my power, so that the next piece of gear I get is likely to have another big boost again. Okay, this time it has -4 to defense, so that one probably isn't going to help me a whole lot. Let's try a helmet here. That one is +2 defense and a defense perk, so that one's pretty good. We'll equip it, and my power will have bumped up from that. Again, I've got to go into in the bottom right here, it shows me what my power is, or I can go into my gear and see it. So that's white memories. Green memories are going to be even a bigger jump. They can have a little bit higher stats, and they will have, instead of 1 perk, they can have 2 perks associated with them. So let's decode one of these green gauntlets, and we'll see what we get. So I get uncommon gauntlets, 15 defense. That's 3 higher than my current. It has an attack perk and an LP perk. It doesn't have the crit perk of my current piece. We'll go ahead and equip it. And let's see, my power jumped up 10 points to 253. So that's gonna help the next piece be even more. Let's do a green chest and see what we get out of him. This time it didn't help, wasn't more powerful. And now I've got these buttons up here to do white, green, blue, purple, red. If you do these, it's going to decode all of them of that color. It takes a little bit of time when you have a ton of these. But for increasing your power, you don't want to do that. You want to go through these one at a time so that you get every incremental jump in power that you can potentially get. Now there's ones here that say white memory. You can see these sometimes for green memory. I got those from level ups. Those could be any random piece of gear, whereas the one that is a gauntlet, we know for sure is going to be a gauntlet. So really quick, if I come and look at my gear, my class item, my legs, and my helmet are both pretty weak. So those might be ones to target if I had more memories. But let's do a helmet here and see what we get out of them. All right, +5 defense. Even though the defense perk goes down a little bit, that +5 overall is probably gonna increase my power a better chunk. Yeah, here we went to 258. Let's try, we can try a chest. Probably not gonna help. Sometimes the perk can be enough, it'll help with the base being different. The only way to know for sure is to come into your gear and just try equipping the two and see which one really is better. So I'm at 258 power, 258 power. These ones ended up being a wash with the same amount of actual defense. So let's go with this one that's got the crit rate on it instead of the defense perk. Now blues, I've got a primary and a special blue. I'm probably gonna get weaker of these than I currently have equipped because I bought these from a shop. And so decoding those is probably gonna be just a waste of money right now. Anyway, going through that process, it's typically your armor that you're gonna be working on. Your weapons, you're typically gonna get better from shops. Later on, you'll eventually get boosters. So I've got one for Drachma. You'll see these for attack and defense and experience. When you activate, say, a defense booster, it will actually increase your power because, again, your power is computed by your total defense and your total attack. So you can activate a defense booster, then come in and equip something just to make it update. And when you do that, it'll increase your power so you can give yourself a temporary buff before you go on a spree of decoding gear to help get stronger gear from that series of decoding. Let's see, did I have any other legs or helmets? I've still got another white helmet. We can see if we get anything out of him. Not helpful. All right, so at this point, we've gotten a little bit more defense. Then what we would want to come back and do is just repeat this process of attacking and killing things and then using the items and the memories that I get. That's going to be a big part of the game early on, and eventually I'm going to get to the point where I'm strong enough to start taking on Titans and killing them. I think right now they're probably going to mostly wipe the floor with me. Let's find one here. Tier 4, yeah, he's probably going to kill me one shot. No, he didn't. Let's use a flare bomb. There we go, we hit him for 380. And we got like 700 experience, 700 drachma roughly from it, so decent. We'll get to the point where they can't really hurt us, and then we'll be able to fight them more regularly. So another question that comes up frequently is how come some enemies are only hitting me for 1 damage and then all of a sudden they hit me for a ton of damage? Well, the reason why, if I come in and look at my enemy info, they have the statistic on here for their attack. So his attack is 30. And he's got a shield in his health. Well, my defense was 47. So 30 versus 47, nothing carries over. I'm gonna take a minimum of 1 point of damage. If he gets enraged, then he's gonna hit me for twice as hard. So instead of a 30, he'd have a 60 attack power. Now I'm gonna be getting hit for 13 damage a hit. Additionally, this is multiplied by the tier of the monster. So a tier 2 is twice as strong, a tier 3 is 3 times as strong. Because that attack versus your defense is linear, once you cross that threshold, you can start taking damage pretty quickly. So you really know you're safe in an area when you can fight a monster that's enraged, meaning they're going to hit you twice as hard, but you also get twice the gains in experience, and not take damage from them. All right, let's do this. Fight him again. Now notice these little pop-ups here for achievements. If I come to game progress, I have a full list of achievements in here. They're just things that you can do throughout the game. Complete 25 bounties, acquire a certain amount of drachma. These just kind of give you little goals and things you can shoot for. They don't give you any boost to your character. After achievements, we have triumphs. Most of these are things that you'll do either over a long time on your primary account, like get 1,000 shards of Zeus, get a certain amount of location points, complete so many bounties, unlocking cards. Others take specific runs. So Deathless 99 hard mode, that means you have a hero that you are on hard mode with and you get to 99 without dying. These you won't do with your first hero. Once you get your first hero to level 99, you can then create additional heroes and try for some of these extra ones. So Kratos only, for example, means you go to level 99 using only your starter weapon and don't equip anything else the whole time. After that, you have bobbleheads. These will become available after you hit level 99, and these ones, contrary or opposite of triumphs and achievements, these actually do give small boosts to you. And there's various ways to get these. So if I come into the wiki and we pull up the bobbleheads information, it tells you roughly how to get these fighting the public event Apollo. So that's a Titan everybody in the game can fight and getting the killing blow. And that gives your account a bonus 50% perk to hit point and 25% to crit. So these help with all of your heroes across all plays. So they actually do have something mechanical to it more than just a checklist of things that you've accomplished. For this character, the next main goal beyond increasing my equipment that I'd want to do is get to level 15 and save up this 100,000 drachma for the moon. And here's a secret. Once you get the moon, you could potentially stay there all the way until you get to Mercury. The further planets from that are going to have monsters that are a little bit stronger in new areas. If you're looking for chests or trying to do a bounty, you may jump around. But you can go to the moon where there's a lot of Titans and do most of your leveling there up until you hit 75 and get to Mercury. And then Mercury tends to get a little bit faster at that point. I don't have bounties on here yet. Once you unlock those, there's a bounty hunter, and they'll have a goal for you to kill a certain amount of a certain type of monsters within a time limit, 30 minutes, an hour, or 2 hours, or a year. And so the rewards for the faster ones are obviously a lot better than the other ones. Generally, I don't think they're worth doing from a perspective of if I've only got a certain amount of time to play, I'm trying to maximize the experience. But they are fun in that they give you some fun rewards and you count how many that you do. So from there, it just is going to become a lot of clicking and grinding. Most players, when they first start the game, if you're playing a lot, you can get to level 99 probably within 1 to 3 weeks. I know that's kind of a wide window, but some people have, an hour to 2 of play a day. Some people have less responsibilities or have a job where they can, play on their phone while they're doing their job, and they can kind of burn through it and get to level 99 in just a couple days. But don't feel like you have to rush to anything. That's one thing with Titan Conquest is if you feel like there's an end goal that you're rushing towards, you're really not playing it right. There's a ton of things that you can do and go for. Just enjoy where you're at and what you're doing. Set small goals for yourself and work towards those. And if you need more ideas of what to work on, again, always come and ask the community, check out the wiki and look up things to do. And I think for this hero, that's about as far as we're gonna go. Let me do this. I'm gonna go ahead and just buy the other weapons to dismantle here. Just try to get to level 15 just to show you what's new there. So if you watched any of our other videos, we have a run where we get to level 99 in under an hour. I think I did it in about 45 minutes. This is one of the first steps is we come and buy all of these pieces of equipment and dismantle them to jump up a bunch of levels. And then we go to hero shops, which are shops from other players where you can buy gear that don't become available until you hit level 99 on your first character. And the reason for that is because the gear that you can buy from them is so overpowered compared to everything else that you lose a lot of the game if you don't kind of go through this first initial stage of struggling to get your equipment up and better as you go along. All right, we're gonna come unlock all of these and then we're just going to dismantle them, see if that'll get me to level 15 here really quick. You know what, let's use that primary with the defense perk. And for heavies, let's grab this one with the experience perk. So we'll unlock these guys and we'll come dismantle everything. So I get, again, 1,000 experience per infusion on these. So that jumped me up, instantly a couple of levels. Let's see. almost level 15. There we go. All right, at level 15, we're gonna need a few more shops unlocked. Leave your starter Kratos locked here, because when you get to Mercury, sometimes you're gonna want to attack strong monsters that give good experience with low attack weapons so that you can get lots and lots of battles on them. So that's something that's talked about in the hints and tips. There is Titan farming is one way to get good experience. The other is through Kratos farming. All right, level 15. So now I have clan shop. If I was in a clan, you get a clan mark for every kill, and you can use those to buy some of this equipment. The red clan gear set is pretty decent. The yellow one, you have to have the ship to Mount Olympus for. So that one isn't available very early on. But for just getting kills, this ends up being pretty decent gear. When you get a complete set, you get a multiplier on the bonuses that they give you, if they're all the same type and color. Not going to go into that in this video a whole lot. I'll do another video on a deep dive on equipment. Let's see, Codebreaker. I was thinking that the bounty hunter was going to show up at 15. I guess that's at 20. So with there, we'll wrap up. I think that's all the shops that we have to show today at the moment. Over the weekend, you do get Borgen, who's a special vendor who sells some of the best bikes and equipment in the game. For ancient coins. The other ships you can get are from Shipwright. I didn't talk about that. So you have ships that let you travel to planets, and then you have bikes that you can ride. And you can ride one bike at a time and get the bonus from it. So these become more expensive as you get level requirements to get to higher bikes. Some common questions that always come up here is Scooty Puff Jr. worth it? Because the perks are all question marks. The answer is no. And if you look at the cost of 100 million, is roughly the same price as the ship to Mercury, I believe. And if you're going between the two, you know what? Get the ship to Mercury. Always get a ship to a new planet before you get a new bike. Another common question that comes up is, should I sell memories? So if I come into my items, we'll use all these again. I can go to sell items, and here I can sell memories, and you get a little bit. So a chest, green memory is 750, 300 for whites. It's tempting to sell these when you're strapped for cash early on. You can do that, and I think that's okay. Most people are going to say never ever sell memories though, and the reason they're going to tell you that is because every memory that you decode ends up helping with your decode rank, and as that powers up, that's going to help you get better gear. So that's the reason for that. Here, let's just do another green for the fun of it. Ooh, 17 armor. Hit point and crit perk. Watch my power jump from that, or not. Okay, there we go, 313. See a big power jump there just from grabbing one piece of gear with a huge defense. And once that power goes up, then you can come increase these other pieces. So it just becomes a long game of slowly decoding memories to get your gear up, to increase your power, and your defense is gonna help you survive against stronger monsters. So kind of a long video, but hopefully if you have gotten started and kind of wondering what to do next, this will give you some direction. Thanks for watching.